What is up, it's Pick Your Hunter. If you're new to the channel, I test devices for CrossFit training most times. A lot of times it's tech devices, but I do test other types of devices. And now I'm gonna do a long-term review for the Airwaav Mouthpiece. There's a few different variants, and I have been using the traditional performance mouthpiece is what they call it, not the endurance, and obviously not the recovery, but the performance mouthpiece for about a year and a half now. So we're gonna talk about how it's held up and what I think of the other mouthpieces on the Airwaav market. So first and foremost, the Airwaav Performance Mouthpiece. It has two basic feature sets. Number one, it's placed to hold your tongue. So as you mold it to your mouth, you put your tongue, you depress your tongue in there and it opens up your airwaves, or it's supposed to open up your airways and allow you to get up to 20% more air in, more oxygen in your system, which is good for a workout. But the bigger thing, and the reason I continue to use it, is the biting mechanism in a lifting workout reduces some physiological reactions in your body to producing cortisol, I think, whatever inhibits some of your strength development. Okay, yes, it does. It actually reduces cortisol by helping with post-workout recovery, as well as neurological impact when you're biting to help with the actual strength development side. So it's got the aerobic side because your tongue goes under there and it opens up your airways by up to 20%. It's got the strength development because neurological things happen when you bite as you're lifting. And then it's got the reduced recovery needs because cortisol reduction is supposedly reduced by 50%. I can tell you from experience, so that's sort of what they say the science is. From experience, I feel like it definitively helps me when I'm going through the grind of a hard workout, just having the biting. And I do think there's enough science out there that shows that it has neurological benefits for actually helping you in the workout, helping you through the workout. And then for lifts, it gives you something to sort of like bounce off of, like as you're biting through a heavy back squat, it actually helps. So I am a huge proponent or believer, I have enjoyed this for a year and a half, and I really like the performance mouthpiece. So looking at it as a long-term review, then we'll talk briefly about some of the other mouthpieces that they offer and what my thoughts are. I think you should just go with the endurance mouthpiece. When you look at it, it is gnarled. This is a year and a half of working with it, a year and a half of using it, a year and a half of grinding it. I can feel the phrase in my mouth, and I'm excited to allow myself to have a new mouthpiece. But overall, this is a year and a half. It's fully held up of working out 5 or 6 days a week, using it for an hour to hour and a half a day. This is what it's been, and it's been fantastic and still continues to be pretty fantastic, although I can feel all the phrase in my mouth. So that's the endurance, what they call the HIIT, the HIIT mouthpiece. So that's the one you should get. That's $50. You can get a 2-pack, but here are my thoughts on the rest, on the others. The endurance mouthpiece holds in easier, so you don't have to maybe as consciously, but I felt like it held too tight. I tried it in workouts for a period of time, and then I just ceased to do so because the design is different. It's not as efficient. It feels a little bit bigger and a little bit more obstructive in your mouth and a little more felt in your mouth. So I have not actually enjoyed the endurance, but if you're going to do long endurance workouts, it's supposed to be easier because it just holds in place, therefore holds your tongue in place without as much mental energy going into it. But I didn't find it to be that comfortable. And then the new one is the Airwaav Recovery. Now there's obviously a lot of science around mouthpieces in sleep, and I have had a mouth guard for a period of time before testing this out. And I do think it's a great solution to have a mouth guard while you sleep because it has definite benefits for your sleep. This one just didn't work for me. It just felt a little bit too big. Again, like I don't know, I was used to a thin, svelte little mouthpiece, a custom designed mouth guard, and this just felt like too much. And after a few weeks, I'd say like 2 weeks of trying to use it every night and taking it out or finding it somewhere else, it just didn't work for me. So those are my thoughts on the endurance and the recovery. Not ones that I had great success with, but they are alternatives that you could try, and maybe they have a return policy to send back. But I am a big believer in the endurance, the HIIT, the HIIT mouthpiece, and I do find that it really helps the workout, especially in CrossFit. Just want to do a long-term review of how it's held up, as well as some of the other products on the market. So Figure Hunter, thanks so much for watching.